about that. And if the ribs ain't breaking, he ain't waking. So that shows you what kind of pressure you have to put. And I don't see a lot of 75-year-old hysterical women doing that. I'm not trying to be sexist here. I'm simply saying they may not have the physical ability to even do that correctly. That's why we need to have some people to provide assistance. Do you think an emergency room nurse can do that? I do. But he's not going to be here today. He's not going to help. We want them to help. Yes, Diane.
Would this be set up like a phone bank where you're 911, I call you, you call the people on...
No. 911 goes directly to Polk County Sheriff's Police.
Okay.
To their communication center. Have any of you seen it? This is straight out of Star Trek. I got pictures of it because I visited. Grady Judd personally showed me around. And incidentally, if you're interested, I also have a letter here from the Grady Judd's office giving complete support for the program and how they're excited about this and how they really want this to happen and go forth. Let me see if I can find it for you. If I can, I will give it to you. But they were completely supportive of this program. So if you call 911, the Polk County Sheriff's Police will pick up and then dispatch, like I said, an EMT from 37 or from 85 or wherever it is, the closest one that's available. And the system that I'm proposing is called Ready Alert. They will also then at that time instantly notify a couple of neighbors, whether it's here in Treviso or somewhere else or Candlewood or Verona, to come and provide assistance. And that makes the difference.
So it wouldn't be directly into somebody's community. It could be anybody that you...
No, it would be volunteers who would volunteer.
Okay.
They also, there's a subscription cost to be connected to this Ready Alert. I understand, and like I said, I'm 2 years removed from this. I talked to them for hours. I'm almost embarrassed to call them again after engaging them for 2 years, for so many hours. There's a cost, about $70 a year to be hooked up per home. Now, what that comes down to, again, for the neighborhood captains and for the neighborhood programs, for them to sponsor a couple of volunteers a year, I think that many of them would be delighted. We did an AED concert about 2 years ago with the Vinyls at Freedom Park. We raised $750. We can do that. I don't think people are going to say this is an obstacle, especially when we're spending $40,000 to lower them so somebody in the who has a wheelchair can't get them. I think we can spend our money much better.
Yeah, actually, our AED on our street is on a berm that's raised.
Yeah.
A wheelchair couldn't even get up there.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, it is an absolute waste of our money. It's a damn shame, actually, because if you think about it, all that money that they're spending, lowering these things down can go to provide people, have people who are more physically able help you and your spouse. You're in a wheelchair. How the hell are you going to do CPR? Show me. Somebody from the board should show me. How does that happen? Because I can't envision that. And like I said, I know CPR. I took classes in CPR. I'm marginal at this point. I'm 77. I'm marginal. I hope somebody can provide assistance for me at some point. So, I mean, yeah, I have some, what we use the expression, skin in this game too. We all are getting older, folks. And we all, we all are going to be facing that when we are, but, and like I said, it just, I mean, I heard so many stupid statements. When I presented this, and I said to the current person on the board, who will be nameless, that we haven't gotten a single AED used in 18 months when I was there, he said to me, and I'm quoting him, "Maybe nobody here has heart problems," end quote. At that point, and I'm very proud of myself, I did not leap across the table and strangle him. I'm very proud of myself that I restrained myself. But this, folks, is the mentality and mindset we have with people with the AED program. So you want, like I said, at least let's put poop bags on them. So at least when a dog comes by, they can take some poop bags and make some use of them right now, because they aren't being used in any other way.
So how do we go forward with this to get forward?
That's something that we have been discussing for a while now. Rick Lawson has been marvelous in bringing this to the community's attention through the transparency group that he personally hosts and also through the main feed. We're going to continue to educate and inform the community. And we're going to try to do some things. We're going to eventually have to confront the board and say, either pull them all out, sell them on eBay, or do something and make sure that we're able to use them. At some point, we're going to have to do that. Hopefully, we will be able to start with one neighborhood. I already have my captain, Marilyn Bartlett, who's a new captain, and hopefully she's very supportive. And I said, Marilyn, we're going to have to do this before Janet Nolan finds out and she fires you. So we're going to have to see how, if we can get one or two saves and publicize that, I think this will go throughout the neighborhoods, and every neighborhood's going to be saying, why can't we do this? That's exactly what we want. We want every neighborhood to say, why can't we do this too?
How do we get this on the agenda for the HOA?
We have a board member sitting right behind us right now. So, I mean, but I don't even know the timing of this yet. I really don't. You know, Diane, we're actually thinking this. Now, remember, I was kicked to the curb and I was run over several times. All right. So again, I'm kind of pick up where I left off 2 years. I say, this is not right. This is absolutely not right. So we're talking about this. We're actively looking at how do we develop, first of all, an informational campaign. Again, I ask people on the street, you can do this too. How many times do you think the AEDs are being used here? All the time? No. The answer is none of the time. What do you mean? What do you mean they're not being used? We have to educate. We have to educate. We have to inform. Then we have to engage. If we can get permission to do the cadre program that I've been talking about, then we can start recruiting people from the community who know who are physically able to do CPR, who also know how to use an AED correctly. Get them involved and get them engaged. Yes.
Jim, I really believe that the residents of SoliVita would be extremely receptive to it, only because several years ago, personally, I did a campaign in the estates of Portofino, and everybody donated enough money that I was able to purchase 10 AEDs.
There you go.
So the reception is there, and I think, the statement is, ignorance is bliss. Well, it is, but you know what? When we're kept in the dark on so many things, I am betting you that people have no idea that none have been used, and they have no idea that there is a program available to us to learn to be neighborly.
I would absolutely confirm everything you just said. They're not aware that they're not being used, and they're not aware that we can use them so much more effectively than what we are doing right now. We even, like I said, we've also, and again, this might be in the future because we want to do something right now. We can even expand this. We have the technology today, marvelous technology through Amazon called Amazon Alexa Emergency Assist. If you're not familiar with that, you have obviously the Amazon speaker. Emergency assist is when if you've, quote, fallen and you can't get up or for whatever reasons, Alexa, call my contacts. You can list up to 25 contacts who will be contacted by phone by Alexa. They can't call 911, but they can contact your contacts. As a captain, so often when I interviewed a new resident, I says, do you have an emergency contact? Oh, yes. My daughter in upstate New York. Let me give you her name and her address. And I understand the mentality and the mindset, but your daughter in upstate New York is not going to help you if you fall in at 6:30 in the morning, broke your hip. It's going to take her 2 days to get here. You need to have a neighbor, hopefully next door or whatever, to come over and to provide you at least to help assist you or maybe call the ambulance. I will tell you an unfortunate story. And that, again, I'll tell you, this also solidified my belief we have to do something. As a captain, I got a phone call from one of our residents, and I obviously will change the names to protect the innocent here. But she said to me, I'm worried about Mike. I said, what do you mean? Well, he has a couple newspapers that are just piling up now on his door. I have not seen him walking his little dog. He did that every single day. I haven't seen him. I said, all right, I'll do a wellness check. We both go over to his house. I knock on his door. There's no response. And she said, I know he's home. I knock on the door again, and then I hear 4738. And I said to Nikki, what does that mean, 47? She says, that's the garage door code. I go in there, I punch a garage door code. I come in. He's in a fetal position, naked, feces, urine, dog starving to death. She starts crying hysterically. I say, don't call 911. I'll take care of him. And what broke my heart, and I was a pretty tough cookie, what broke my heart is the first thing he said to me is, please feed my dog. It broke my heart. We can do better than that here. If you can't, why are you here? You know, that's what I'm saying. Yes, somebody said I was emotional. You're damn right I was emotional. If you have a heart, you're going to be emotional when you see that and realize that possibly there are some people who may not. There was an incident in which this woman died and was dead for like 3 weeks. She was isolated, and you know there was really probably nothing that could have been done. And let's be realistic; it's not going to help everybody, but we can do so much more, folks. This community can care and does care if they knew that there's this opportunity available, that we have the technology. And when we take a look at Amazon Alexa Assist, it's $6 and something a month. A cup of coffee at Starbucks, if you want to get if you want to get a talk. That's a cup of coffee a month. If you take a look at the other alert services, they start at $30 and go up to $45 and $60. So, I mean, we do have the technology today. We can easily incorporate that into the cadre program. Again, this goes back again to the soul of this community and how we're going to define it. You want to avoid liability, then don't do a damn thing. Nothing would ever happen.
And I would like to say that I am a respiratory therapist, former respiratory therapist, and would be happy to help anybody.
There you go.
Of course, I would need
I want to look somebody in the eye and say, you think that we can't find 5 people in every neighborhood who agree to come and provide us? You think I can't? Try me. Give me an opportunity. Don't kneecap me. Don't obstruct me. Don't send me a cease and desist letter. And don't tell me I can't contact people and knock on doors. Because then you just kneecap me again. And we're back where we started from. You're happy that the fact that they're not being used. I'm not. I don't think the community should be happy. Why did we spend $300,000?
And why didn't we take some of that $300,000 and talk about possibly some liability insurance?
And that's another thing too, is because all I heard in all the discussions I had weren't really discussions, they were just yelling sessions, is liability. How do we have to reduce liability? I read this to them, and that's when they said I was being insubordinate. And again, let's put the record straight here, because I did searches on this. Not one lawsuit here in SoliVita. Not one lawsuit in Florida regarding ADs. Now, let me preface that. We live in a litigious society. You can't turn on the TV without either John Morgan or Dan Newland. So you can be sued for anything these days for any particular reason. The key word that I want to use is successful. There's never been a successful lawsuit. And that's where the liability insurance comes in. Because, yes, I'm going to have to spend thousands of dollars to get a lawyer who had this thing thrown out of court. Come on. But yes, you can sue anybody for any particular reason, and you are, incidentally. Not you, but I mean, all of us, we see that. And so, yes, you can be sued. There's never been a successful lawsuit. And again, the caveat here is as long as the AD has been proven to be maintained and inspected. And I'm here to assure you, when I did it, they were inspected and they were maintained to the highest levels. I'm sure the person who's doing it today is doing the same thing. And incidentally, they said that they have all the documents somewhere, I guess, in the HOA has it available.